Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to another article drop. Today is a very special one because not only do we have Villain Theory, we also have Web Warrior Fanatic here. The three of us are going to be doing a live look going through the Synthezoid Smackdown. Try saying that 5 times fast and just see what's coming in this scenario pack. So, welcome. How's everybody doing?
Yeah, doing good. We were, me and Web Warrior, stuff was happening, but you guys will have to maybe wait and see for that. But I'm excited. I really like scenario packs.
Yeah, I am excited too. I'm not as excited for scenario packs. I really wanted the heroes to be reviewed, but I'm excited to be here with y'all and take a look at this pack.
Yeah, definitely. It will be fun because I am also on Team Scenario Pack. I love scenario packs. I feel like they enable the designers to take big swings, and so hopefully throughout this reveal article we can convert Web Warrior Fanatic. So let's see what happens. But this, well, actually, hold on. Why are both of y'all here? I messaged Villain like, hey, you want to do this, and he had a really fun response, which is why the three of us are here.
Uh,
I feel like there's some secrecy involved here. Me and Web Warrior, we were recording. I was merely a guest, and I think you guys will probably see the results. How soon do you reckon they might see them? Can we reveal this?
I was planning on posting it on Friday, but we gotta continue filming on Friday now. So maybe Saturday is yeah.
Oh, coming up soon. Cool. Some weekend viewing.
Nice. And if I do my content creator job correctly and I remember, I will link that video down below. I will also link both of your channels down below in the video description. Thank you all for joining. Let's talk about Synthezoid Smackdown. So this is the article, the scenario pack that's following up the Civil War box where they introduce kind of a player versus player mechanic, which is not the only thing that the box offers. It offers a ton of new villains, a ton of new mod sets, as well as Tigra and Hulkling, which we got articles the previous 2 weeks. This is, I think, a first time, right? Like, this is the first time that we got 3 articles in 3 weeks, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Very
History.
awesome. Very awesome. Yeah, so thank you, FFG, for this because I'm pumped. But in here, it was teased that we're going to get Vision and She-Hulk as leaders. And if you're playing player versus player or like the competitive mode, that's going to be they're like the leaders. But if you're playing like the normal way that we typically play Marvel Champions, these are new villains. So it's going to be similar to the Trickster Takeover pack that we just got. 2 new villains, and we're hoping some new mod sets. So let's continue. So the battle between heroes continues after the Superhero Registration Act passed. The mighty She-Hulk stood with their fellow Avenger, Iron Man, and Captain Marvel in support of registration. Boo. Are you team registration or resistance? I need to ask.
Gotta be Team Cap all the way. Resistance.
I am team Resistance, but I might be siding with the registration because of I'm not gonna say too much about it, but
Oh.
Coming up over the next couple of weeks, the content creators may be getting grouped into some, getting forced into some groups. Who knows? But we first heard about this pack back with the reveal of the Civil War expansion. Now Synthezoid. God, geez, I feel like I'm not. I need to come up with a better way to say this. Synthezoid Smackdown. What is a Synthezoid? Does anyone know?
It's like a kind of a robot android kind of like style.
Okay,
Thing.
that makes sense with Vision being in there. With this extra large 90 card scenario pack, holy cow! That's what is like Trickster Takeover?
I feel like I don't know. I wish I did. Trickster Takeover is delayed here.
Yeah. So Trickster Takeover is 78 cards here. So this is going to be pretty significantly larger. So 90 card scenario pack can be thought of as a quote companion piece to Civil War that expands your scenario customization options. That's the other thing that I forgot about to mention, but we're getting like custom scenarios. Do either of you remember how those work?
Yeah, so I think you can. There's basically a bunch of main schemes that come in like a little set, and you can choose what main scheme you want as well as choosing the modulars. So basically, like villain, main scheme, and modulars all kind of interchangeable, is my understanding, with some like resistance and registration kind of like restrictions possibly on who can use what of those. But yeah, there's like a whole bunch of them. Second and first stage main schemes too. So I guess this is gonna be similar here.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Because you can build the main. Yeah. Okay. I'm so excited to get my hands on this product. I think it's going to be so cool. Each of these pre-built scenarios comes with 4 new modular sets. So it sounds like we're getting 8 in the box. That combines with 16 modular sets that are coming in Civil War for a grand total of a lot. I can't do math. But 24 modular sets is, I mean, how many mod sets do we have now, Villain? You just did a video on this, right?
How many mod sets in total? It's a lot. I haven't actually counted the exact amount, but there are I would say definitely over 100 now.
Definitely over 100, but this is 24 new ones. Like, we're adding a significant percentage to the amount of mod sets that we have to play with. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah, and I mean with Agents of Shield, we got all the Thunderbolt ones and those in the hero packs too. So we have a ton of choices now, which is something I love. I really love modular sets. If people weren't aware, which I think a lot of people are, so this is exciting. I'm curious to see what they would have gone for here, because they covered a lot of like the teams in the Civil War box. It looks like.
Mm-hmm. So let's take a look at what these 2 scenarios have in store. So we have the Gamma boosted Beatdown. We have the Lean Green Fighting Machine, She-Hulk herself, Web Warrior. What does She-Hulk do?
She has a setup. The enemy team finds a copy of Superhuman Strength. Oh, that's really cool. It's the same art as the core set one, and attaches to her. So she's gonna start with 4 attack. That's crazy. And the attack gains over. Oh, when she attacks, the attack gains over. Oh, but this card. Okay. So just one really, really big swing from She-Hulk to start the scenario off, and then you get to discard it. Okay, that is like exactly the same as a Superhuman Strength that we got. And as a force response after an alter ego changes the hero form, do 1 damage to the hero.
Oh.
Alter ego hero form. Oh, that's fun. That's like very thematic to the hero She-Hulk, and she doesn't want us to flip as much anymore now.
Yeah. Do you even lift? Do you even lift?
Do you even change form?
Do you even change form? 16 hit points per player. And then she has 14 cards in her set. So yeah, so we set up even in like stage 1, right? So this is something that I would typically think to see, like if you're playing expert as a setup, or like when you push her into that second stage, you would then go find the Superhuman Strength and not have like that incredible tempo boost for the villain right there at the beginning. But here we are. It's Civil War time. We're coming out swinging. So that's interesting. I wonder how many Superhuman Strength she has. My guess would be kind of mirror the hero kit with 2.
This card is so strong though, because like the boost effect of Superhuman Strength reveals it, right? So it's like very. I believe the timing. I believe the timing for the forced interrupt is passed by the point that you like reveal it as a boost. But then next time she'll have it, and if she could have 2 at once, for example, if it's then your encounter card, that'd be crazy. And just attacking for 2 +2 with overkill plus your boost card is gonna, like those 9 hit point hero is especially gonna be in danger here. Which is, it reminds me a little bit of the Captain Marvel leader they showed in Civil War. She has some ways to attack with overkill, but this is gonna hurt like a lot.
That's interesting. That's a boost. Like when it comes out, it doesn't give the attack overkill. That's a little bit like different and like nicer, I guess.
Oh, the +2 attack at the bottom left, I think will be relevant at that timing, I believe. But the overkill, that's still okay. Okay, that's fine. Okay, but still scary.
If it gave her like constant overkill, like with the attachment itself. Weird.
Yeah, so it's effectively a 2 boost icon card because she gets the +2 attack for the attack that she's currently carrying out. And then her next one is going to have overkill. Okay.
And an extra boost card right on top of the +2 on the bottom corner of this. So I think this is really scary.
Yeah. What's kind of interesting here is that the way that I'm reading this is if you have a protection player, if you have someone who defends against it or just runs it into a tough, she loses this card regardless. She doesn't actually have to activate the overkill in order to keep the card. So like I think for some heroes this could be not bad at all.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's nice, I guess. Silver lining, however faint it may be. She's all about chasing players down with powerful bursts. Oh, oof. Yikes. Right off the bat, you'll have to face her innate ability to deal damage to your hero the moment you change out of alter ego form. Yep, so that's the when you flip, do you even lift? While that 1 damage from her innate ability might seem negligible, you'll have to seriously weigh your options when you're facing down a 4 attack overkill. And this isn't stage 1 of 4 attack. We haven't even like thought about stage 2. But have the Gen Con promos. Yeah, so the stats do go up just like a standard villain on the heroes or the leaders that come in the Civil War box. So I would assume that we're gonna see some higher attack here with She-Hulk as well. Ugh. Yikes.
Wow. So that force response she has is very much like Taskmaster when you flip down, but that's based on a boost card you get. But that's guaranteed 1 damage to attack on She-Hulk, to attack superhuman strength. You could get a triple boost card, like theoretically. 9 hit point character, potentially down to 8 if it didn't defend. That is terrifying before your encounter card.
I was thinking about, sorry.
I'm just like going off on this train of how bad could this get? What if on her first attack she reveals another copy of this?
Ooh.
And then like you have to deal with a similar big attack like the next turn. Like this is probably one of the most threatening attack oriented enemies we will have to fight. I have to imagine up there with like maybe just theoretically up there with like Ronan and Thanos maybe.
Yeah, she looks super tanky too.
16 hit points in stage 1. So Captain Marvel has 14, America has 14, Iron Man has 12, and Spider-Woman has 13. So yeah, it looks like also they all get +4 hit points going into the second stage. So it looks like we're gonna have a 20 health if it follows the same formula. A 20 health She-Hulk on stage 2. That is a very tanky hero. Dang. All right.
Very tanky leader.
Yeah, that too. She is a tanky hero, though, to be fair.
You are correct.
Oh, I just played a Ready for a Fight She-Hulk deck and just had the most fun. So good. So the rest of her signature encounter set is similarly brutal. Good. That's nice. Focused Rage. Villain, what does Focused Rage do?
Focused Rage is, let me find out quick on my screen. Focused Rage, +1 scheme at the bottom left, attached to She-Hulk. She-Hulk gains Stalwart. After She-Hulk schemes, discard this card, and as a boost, you reveal it. So very much the scheme version of what we just looked at. Definitely, I think giving her Stalwart is a lot less scary than giving her Overkill, and +1 scheme, not quite as scary as +2 attack. But yeah, kind of thematic here in a way. Well, actually, no, Focus Rage doesn't do anything to do with threat normally. Or Stalwart. I was trying to think about it. It's like thinking of her lawyer kind of threat removal cards.
Yeah.
Very, very different, completely different to the one based on the hero card, I think.
Yeah. I want to use, what is it, Psychic Manipulation with She-Hulk with this, where it like removes threat instead of adding it. And then you can get rid of this card, get rid of the Stalwart, and also just remove an extra threat. But yeah, I would agree. This is just like way less worse than revealing a +2 attack than Overkill in the next one. This could be upsetting. The other one could be game ending if revealed at the wrong time.
Yeah. Something I'm thinking about. If you are getting attacked and Focus Rage is your boost card, they will get the card on them, but it's not going to add anything to that attack, and vice versa for Superhuman Strength. If she's scheming against you and she pulls that out, at least that +2 attack isn't affecting you while she's scheming. So there's kind of some maybe if you see one Superhuman Strength come up early, maybe if there's a second copy, you can go Alter Ego, or maybe stay in hero form a bit more in subsequent attacks, because there's not going to be more of those, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, I was kind of expecting something with Focus Rage being along the lines of like, I don't know, reveal another boost card or something, like to kind of give that like card advantage that Focus Rage does in her hero kit. I was kind of expecting something along those lines, since we've seen them mirror each other so closely before. But
yeah,
I guess like Okay, no, I want to see if they have legal practice in here. Yeah, they do. Okay, sweet. Okay, now I'm excited to see what legal practice does. Which empowers her 1-2 punch. So the 1-2 punch, oh geez. Okay, so when revealed, if you're an alter ego, she's going to scheme and she gets a tough status card. When she is in hero form, she attacks you and you give her a tough status card. As a true solo player, I am always scared when they add more potential schemes into the deck. So this also the tough is just annoying. She is going to be very tanky.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like it's not. I mean, it's just your standard like activation card, but then the tough like makes her really, really tanky. I think like she's gonna get a lot of tough status cards probably throughout the course of the game.
Yeah, I don't know if I've got a lot to add other than, extra activations, extra tough. How many 1-2 punches? She's probably gonna have 2 of these, I imagine.
So the last one was 7. So I assume she has 2 focus rages because this is a 9.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Okay.
Yeah. Can you imagine getting a reveal of a superhuman strength on the boost and then drawing into a 1-2 punch and you're like, well, that's cool, I guess. Like,
I can definitely imagine that is the problem.
yep.
Okay.
That makes a lot of sense, like the parallels from the leader to the hero version, which gives her bonus activation and a tough status card, possibly halting any momentum you were starting to build up. Yeah. Just when you thought you were gaining some ground, her devastating Gamma Slam. Oh, is this going to deal damage equal to the amount of damage she sustained? No, that would be insane, right? Like that would
be
50 damage.
Imagine in 4-player.
Die. Yeah, that can't be right. Yeah, no. Alrighty. Okay, Web Warrior, what does this guy do?
Getting his name right.
Yeah.
Treachery with 3 boost icons. Whenever it's revealed, discard the highest cost ally or support you control. Oh, that's nasty. That's like expert 2, standard 2 type stuff. Place threat on the main scheme equal to that card's cost. If no threat is placed on the main scheme this way, this card gains surge.
I hate it.
Yeah. There goes like your Avengers mansion, your helicarrier, if you're Angel, there go your wings. Slam them right off your back. And then it's going to place threat. So, and it's got triple boost icons as well, which is, with her other ways to get overkill on attack bonuses. She's feeling very scary.
She is. I'm going back to the Civil War article because I'm curious. Yeah, the threat caps on these schemes that they introduced in the initial article are 7. So, like, if you have an Avenger mansion or something like higher cost, like you're looking at 5 out of 7 if you're playing true solo. That's brutal. What's up?
I made a small mistake. Angel's Wings wouldn't happen because it's ally with support and they're an upgrade.
Okay.
But if Nick Fury or like an ally, some allies on the board, it could definitely go bad as well. Like plenty of those good ones have 3 or 4 cost.
Yeah. Hercules.
So yeah, she schemes, and then this is in your encounter card or something. You don't want to talk. We don't play Hercules here.
Yeah. Right. No. And
I was like, what?
Yeah. It's starting to feel like she is going to be a villain that you really kind of have to be careful what you are putting onto the table. I'm counting these Gamma Slams, right? This is one of those cards that when as the deck passes, if I haven't seen it yet, I'm like, well, guess I can't flip down because I have this helicarrier or I have this 4-cost ally, and now we pop the main. That's brutal. Ugh.
I have to imagine there's only one of them, right? Just kind of like the real She-Hulk. Like, imagine if she had multiple of these. It couldn't be.
It's labeled 13 out of 14. So if we see we have legal practice, which is probably going to be the most OP card in her kit if like it holds true to her hero. We'll see if that's labeled at 14. Sorry, it was really tiny on my screen. Yeah, it's also, she seems to be way better. Okay, this is kind of funny. She seems to be way better at adding threat, considering her hero is very bad at removing threat. Yeah.
That is pretty funny.
Okay, well, there you go. Okay, that's Gamma Slam. Alrighty. Can flip. All that wasn't bad enough. Don't forget, she's a lawyer. That's good. Villain, what's legal practice do? And is it as OP as what we have in our hero kit?
Oh, you have no idea. So it's got 3 boost icons to start off with. So we're starting to see more boost icons coming up. Side scheme, threat cannot be removed from the scheme by heroes or allies. So I'm immediately thinking like Jubilee shopping spree kind of style thing, or something
Mhm.
like Gambit, or could be able to remove threat from this quite easily, I guess. Alter Ego response: after you change form, exhaust your identity, remove 3 threat from the scheme. Acceleration icon, 3 threat per person baseline. This is a really interesting side scheme. I feel like there's a lot to break down from this. So if you're exhausted and you go Alter Ego, you can't do this response. So that's shutting you down. If you take all this damage from a She-Hulk, then get this as your encounter card, you probably want to go Alter Ego and recover. You probably gonna maybe do this instead now. You've got like a big decision. Um, yeah, I think that's what do you guys think of this? I think it's a little bit better than what She-Hulk has as a hero.
Yeah, I like the design of the card. I think it's a really interesting design. I'm trying to figure out if the acceleration icon is worse than 3 boost icons. Like is the acceleration icon worth me missing out on an activation?
I think it depends how long the scenario goes, right? And I feel like the
Yeah.
Civil War ones might be kind of snappy because they weren't in PvP mode, which we should mention, if you're joining halfway, this can be played either way, so it can just be played like normal. I don't know, because She-Hulk's got all these tufts. Like, if I get this turn 1 and acceleration turn 1, I probably want to get rid of it.
Sure.
But with the overkill, I don't know, actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, she's going to force you to Alter Ego to deal with this, potentially. But then you have to flip back down and take damage from her,
Yep.
false response.
Oh, that's brutal.
Oh yeah.
That's such a lawyer move, it feels like.
Yeah, I feel like
Yeah, what's up?
yeah.
No.
I feel like it's so rough because like if you get this and you're in Alter Ego, you did flip up and then the next turn flip back down to get rid of it. So like I'm glad there's acceleration because I feel like if it was a hazard,
Oh,
that would be like, really brutal. But I think I would probably just leave this because I don't know, the acceleration makes it manageable, but that response is like rough to get.
yeah.
Yeah, that starting an Alter Ego is such a good point. That's pretty bad.
Yeah, and just for clarification, Matt in the chat, well, that kind of rhymes. Matt in the chat. So threat cannot be removed from this game by heroes or allies. That includes your events, and so you can't use like a For Justice to remove threat from this. Now you could use like a Creole Charmer in Gambit because then you're an Alter Ego. So like there is some ways to mitigate that. It also you can remove threat with support, so you can have Beat Cop.
Yep.
Taking down Legal Practice or Surveillance Team or anything like that. Though that does work.
I like the idea of Maria Hill with the Iliad, like having a helicarrier blast away the Legal Practice. Like she's trying to take you to court, and you just like send the helicarrier. It's like a power move.
The helicarrier solves many problems in Marvel Champions. Stealth missions when you're up against Batroc, and then legal battles in the courtroom. Just blow it up. Who cares?
Perfect.
That's awesome. Okay, so that is what. Oh wait, what was Legal Practice? That is So that is 14. So I assume we are only getting 1 copy of the Gamma Slam Treachery, which is a good thing because and also only 1 copy of Legal Practice. I like the idea. I'm assuming that we will get more cards that have these like Alter Ego like thoughts. What's her other card? She has Legal Practice and Superhuman Law Division.
Yes.
I assume that is going to be something that forces us into Alter Ego so that then we have to come back up and take some more damage. That would be kind of interesting.
Yeah. I wonder if it involves a mental resource like the actual card does. Could be interesting.
Yeah. But I think where I land is that this is not as scary as some of her other cards.
It's not going to wipe you out immediately. I'll put it that way.
Yeah. Shivi brings up a very good point. Do you want a big helicarrier out there with Gamma Slam looming? Yeah,
No.
I don't. Because you would, in True Solo, you would automatically pop, right? Because it'd be 6 plus the 1 that you add. So, yeah. No,
hear me out. There's a card in Maria Hill's Precon that not many people use, but Front Organization would solve Gamma Slam. So we can tech for it.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah, Treachery Cancels feels pretty decent in this. This is all that we got from She-Hulk, but what are your overall thoughts on how she is looking as a villain / leader, adding to the pool that we were teased in Civil War?
Yeah, I don't remember that much about the other ones like Captain America and Iron Man and stuff, but she looks really tough. I feel like I would want her to be like my leader if I was playing PvP, and I feel like her tankiness is really good too.
Yeah, I mean, I think I agree with that. Like the damage is so threatening, but she also has toughs and higher hit points. On a completely like separate kind of like train of thought. Now it's like, how does she look as a leader slash villain? I'm looking at her hero art and I'm looking at her Gamma Slam art, and there's quite a contrast, which I feel like is funny to look at. The many looks of She-Hulk, but I feel like she might be the scariest one yet based on the preview. Just because that overkill can kind of get really high really easily, it looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah, on turn one.
Yeah. Yeah, on turn one, she's gonna hit you real hard, which is kind of intense. Okay, so like from a balance perspective in the PvP mode, you would probably want to see all of the leaders be around the same power level. I'm thinking
Yeah.
about that correctly? So now I'm a little scared of what we didn't see from the other leaders that they announced, because that seems scary.
Mm. Yeah. Imagine if like the scenario pack ones were just stronger. So if you bought this to fight your friend with their Civil War, you had an advantage. But I don't think so. I mean, her scheme is only one, so that's kind of like nice. There's once you get rid of superhuman strength, or for all maybe she only has one of those, and then like just stay for the rest of the deck pass. So, do we know that actually? I can look at superhuman strength. The little number at the bottom right is 7.
Focus
And
rage was
then
7, and then
oh no, there is 2 of them.
There
There
is
is 2 of
two?
them. Yep,
Yeah.
guaranteed.
Yeah.
So okay, she's scary.
Yep. Okay. Well, at least she comes with Atlas, so that's not too bad. Atlas and Taskmaster are hitting us. So just like the customizable scenarios in Civil War, she comes with a pre-constructed scenario built to showcase her superhuman. Excellent article writing, my friends. Superhuman strengths. One way to slow her down, her relentless assault, is to stun or confuse her, but the main scheme... Oh, we're getting more main schemes as well in this box. That's cool. So
Okay.
enforce the law. So this is going to be a registration main scheme, which we can use to customize that scenario and switch this out with a different 1B from the registration set. That's cool. I like that a lot. So it's 7 threat, just like all the other ones. And then if there's more than one player on your team, the stage gains hinder 2. So it's going to come in with 4 threat. And then the enemy leader gains steady. Yeah. Well, that's good.
Imagine if the leader you had was She-Hulk with overkill, and then they had steady, just shutting down your options to deal with that big attack.
Yeah. I'm gonna pull up the Civil War. So like this is actually I can just look at that. Haha, we can share it. So cutoff support says that when a player reveals a treachery, you place a threat on the main. These are the other options for the registration 1B schemes. And then they all have that hinder 2 kind of word on them. And then the other one is shield recruits. The enemy leader searches the encounter deck for 1 per player minions and deals 1 to each player. I feel like steady seems like the one I'm going for here.
I mean, are you talking like in player versus player, or like solo choosing like maybe an easier one?
If I had to build a deck that was going to be the worst for my opponent, I feel like steady.
Gotcha. I feel like with like Captain Marvel's registration as well, right? And I feel like this would be really good for her with her overkill too. So it might depend on what like the other player is bringing, right? Or like what you're bringing solo if you're trying to make a challenge for yourself. Because if a character doesn't have any stuns or anything, it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's potentially very nasty.
I'm just excited we're getting more of these. I think because that's going to take, and I think they did the math in the Civil War article with the Synthezoid Smackdown here at the bottom. They said something along the lines of once we got the article, it would be... it doesn't do the math for us, but I think there were like 64 ways to customize the scenario, and then adding this in just takes that to another nth factor. That's cool. Alrighty, so that was enforce the law. There's a mention to plan. Let the scheme advance to Mighty Avengers. I think this may be the first 2B villain what does Mighty Avengers do?
Mighty Avengers, and it's got some flavor text here, so I'm going to read this out because it's quite a paragraph here. Iron Man's Avengers believe so strongly in superhero reform that they lead the charge against their former teammates. So it doesn't look like, after the PvP is done or, solo play against your own, it doesn't look like you're going to be making friends anytime soon. So 9 threat per person. While the enemy leader is attacking, he gets +1 attack, +2 attack instead if the attack is undefended. So that seems terrifying. So if you are unable to defend, let's say She-Hulk gets a second attack, she could get +2 attack on top of her overkill and stuff. Goes up 1 per person at least, which is standard. What do you guys think of that?
I'm bringing Tufts. I like tough status cards. This is like what you would see on a Lord of the Rings card. There's a lot of like effects that are do this or do a worse thing if it's undefended, because it really tries to incentivize. Oh, sorry about that. It really tries to incentivize like block or like defending. It's a little scary. I think it's definitely scary. I think the scariest part about this is going to be those surprise activations with like the 1-2 punch. And like maybe you're exhausted or you've already used your chump blocker, and now it's like, well, I guess I'm taking 6 to the face. I think that's where I would be the most concerned.
I'm thinking like there's some cards that like prevent damage that are defense traded, and some that are similar that prevent damage that aren't defense traded. And now the ones defense traded are actually more desirable here. Specifically, it's a little bit niche, but kind of interesting.
What do you think, Web Warrior?
I mean, I feel like, I don't know. I feel like it's not that bad. It's a block with the ally. But I kind of wish that it was like if your ally blocks, maybe it gets +2 attack, like to get that overkill like off on the ally or something. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like just blocking the ally is not. I wish it could get around blocking the ally. I guess is the only thing with that.
Yeah, I think this gets really scary in the precon that it's coming in with She-Hulk, where now she's getting +1 attack even if you are blocking with an ally. She has superhuman strength. It's overkill. So like there's a weird like basically I'm gonna try not to lose the main, I think is my go-to answer here. So that's Mighty Avengers. She switched gears to an even mightier offense. Good. Yeah, so oh geez, that's insane. The encounter sets in She-Hulk's pre-constructed scenario are no joke either, which you'll find her teaming up with members of the Thunderbolts, like Atlas. What does Atlas do, Web Warrior?
It's a minion with 1 scheme 2 attack and 4 hit points. It's a giant trait. Whenever it's revealed, you stun your leader, otherwise you are stunned. And the boost is also to stun your leader, otherwise you're stunned. So just getting the stun off. And then the flavor text, I'm going to put the hurt on you, little man.
That's disrespectful.
Tis.
Yeah, I feel
Emotional damage.
Yeah, so just really trying to stun either the leader or the player. I think it's not that bad of a minion, I guess. And boost effect doesn't have any boost icons, but it just stuns you.
Yeah. So like in PvP mode, that will stun the leader fighting beside you. But like in like normal cooperative, it will stun your identity. Which is fine. I think that's kind of interesting. I have to see how that really works out in like the PvP mode. But I sure know what it's like to get stunned in the normal gameplay. Thunderbolt monster with the trait here. Does that mean we can use this in the Thunderbolt scenario?
I think they have to be
Seems
elite.
easy, right?
I think they have to be elite Thunderbolts. Which now I know why they put that out there. They had that little caveat. They're like, they'll know why in a year. But I think I'm kind of with Web Warrior here. This does not look too bad.
I think in Civil War, a lot of the minion mod sets, the minions didn't have that much health. Like Luke Cage was 4 health as well and like stunned someone, I think. Like it feels like this is almost like the resistant registration version of that, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't remember exactly, but it doesn't feel too bad. Like I see a 4 health minion coming out. Stun is not great, but it's doable. It's fine.
What you have to do here is swap this out secretly with like the growing strong Atlas and just see if anyone notices.
I think they will.
Wait a second, this is harder. I hope that leader mode doesn't feel like an escort mission, to be honest. That's fair. I think it's gonna feel more like a race than like a protecting the leader. I think I'm gonna see like more rush decks is kind of gonna be what the meta.
On a slightly related note to the previous card we talked about, Mighty Avengers, I just realized is that kind of maybe like a parody, like a reflection of the player card Mighty Avengers that adds +1 attack and fort to your allies.
Oh yeah.
Because that's giving +1 attack to the enemy leader. It's not exactly the same, but I just wondered if that was like related.
Yeah. I think it would be interesting if it said when the enemy is activating, it gets +1 scheme, +1 attack, and then it would be like the exact same thing.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of like that, but this is cool too.
Nice. Atlas and Songbird. Oh, okay. So we're gonna get more Thunderbolts. Villain, what is Songbird doing? Is she as bad as the Supersonic? I don't even remember the mod set anymore.
I think the mod set she's in is called Hard Sound.
Yeah, that's it. That's
So
100% it.
so I'm going to tell you guys that this Songbird is slightly easier than the Hard Sound Songbird because this Songbird has 3 hit points, which is slightly different. So you got 3 hit points, 2 scheme, 1 attack, and when revealed, it's confuse your leader. Otherwise, you're confused. Same for the boost effect. So the when revealed on boost is just like a reflection, kind of what we just saw on Atlas, but confused instead of stun. But she's a little bit more schemy, a little bit less health, a little bit less attack. Seems about the same, to be honest, because I would say confused is a little worse than stun, but she's a little easier to deal with.
Yeah, and I'm now thinking about the registration 1B that has everyone go find a minion and deal it to themselves so that they will reveal it. Could be a little bit nastier because I think that the worst part about these minions are the when revealed effects. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's super interesting because then you can like plan against how you want to like play against the other player. Yeah, that's super cool because you could pick whichever minion that like you want them to be confused or stunned.
yeah. So
Mm. I was just gonna say quickly. I kind of like seeing Songbird here. I'm actually reading a comic right now where she is fighting alongside a couple of the good guys. So it's kind of fun to see that.
nice. That's cool. Well, Penance is a 2/2/4. When revealed, deal 2 damage to your leader. Otherwise, deal 2 damage to a character you control. Same effect on the boost. Are we getting just 5 minions out of this Thunderbolt mod set? Or are there going to be some non-minion cards in here as well?
I'm gonna guess like the last card will be like a side scheme.
Yeah. So it's okay.
I mean, they all seem about on kind of like par. Like there's not like a wild difference here. Like 2 damage, a stun status card. I feel like they're all pretty reasonably balanced around each other. This guy's got more balanced stats, but yeah, I don't know if I have a lot more to comment. I feel like dealing 2 damage to a leader is much more. Actually, no, deal 2 damage to a character you control. I mean, you could soak this on an ally. It's not that efficient, but at least you kind of have the option. It's almost like indirect damage.
Mhm.
Yeah, I thought the effects were like a little bit boring, but I think when Nelson said like with the PvP where you can pick the minion, I think that makes it a lot more interesting to give the other player like chances to try to do stuff. But I think in like solo play or like like just a regular scenario, they're just kind of standard effects, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe it's kind of more interesting with the as a boost effect.
Mhm.
But yeah, they're not like the craziest minions you've ever seen.
It's gonna be fun to throw this set and any of the other ones that we saw in Civil War that have those boost effects into like Claw. You get to just see so many cards. Oh, geez, brutal. Interesting. So, villain. Let's see if we have one more actually. Taskmaster, who is a different mod set. When you're looking at like these Thunderbolts, I know you just did this big video where you went through and did a lot of like research and stuff with like the different mod sets. Where would you rank this in terms of difficulty with just the 3 out of the 5 cards that we've seen?
Honestly, probably. Let me do some like little numbers in my head. Like I feel like the boost effects are like sneakily worse than it looks. So like, okay, like if a 4 health minion comes out, okay, maybe I'll just like basic attack or something, get rid of the stun, and then I play an event to get rid of it. It's not like that bad, but if I had basic attacked and done like the 4 damage, he might have had like 6 hit points on Atlas, for example. I'm looking at here on my screen. So a 6 health minion, not inconsiderable. It's kind of how it translates some of that, but the boost effect, like you get attacked, you're stunned now, and then you get something else later. I think that inflates it quite a bit. So I would maybe put it somewhere around the middle, just because of the extra effects, like the subtle effects adding on top of the minions. But that's just kind of like at a quick glance guess.
Nice. I think that's kind of where I want them to be. I like the mid of the road mod sets that you can kind of customize and throw into like all the different scenarios. Because not only are we going to be able to throw these into like the Civil War, we have 50, 60 other villains that we can throw these mod sets into and really kind of shake up the game. So that's pretty cool. So let's move on
Yeah.
to
I mean,
Task. Oh yeah, what's up?
just one thing to quickly add. I feel like that boost effect is, they're particularly relevant because in Marvel Champions, like effects that like maybe on paper not or not more difficult than other effects would be, but when you start to combine them, bad luck can come into play here. So Songbird could be your boost card. Now you're confused, and then the villain drops a crisis side scheme, and you're confused. And things can like spiral that way a little bit. It's just something to keep in mind.
Mark says in the chat, did you guys drop a new Shadow the Cast episode? What's with all these new articles? Yeah, apparently it's what we had to do is talk about comics, and then all of a sudden they're like, okay, let's just unleash the floodgates, and all of the articles get dropped. Yeah, it's been 3 and 3. Yeah, there you go. Nice. So the next registration mod set that we have is Taskmaster. Taskmaster looks a little bit more brutal. Web Warrior, what is Taskmaster doing to us?
He has 1 scheme 1 attack and 6 hit points, so more hit points. He has Retaliate 1, Toughness, and Villainous. Oh, snap. Okay, he has like all the stuff. When reviewed, he activates against you.
Yikes.
What? I feel like this is way worse than anything else in the other module set.
Yeah, right.
What is going? Yeah, he looks brutal, but he doesn't have a boost effect. So on what Villander was saying, there's no boost there, and he has 3 boost icons instead.
Do you see those keywords that he's got?
A lot of them.
Elite Thunderbolt.
He's an elite Thunderbolt minion, so you can use him as one of the Thunderbolt mod sets in like the Citizen V scenario, or whatever it is,
Nice.
the Thunderbolt scenario.
But he's like the weakest one, right? He's like only 6 hit points. Though.
Oh, he's way easier.
I think you like win like 2 or 3, 4, 5 times earlier because of this guy.
Yeah,
At least in solo.
Oh, that's interesting.
I do kind of like that there is like a really easy option if you want to use him there. And I guess he's more difficult than the other cards we just saw because maybe the rest of his mod set is going to be easier on average. So like it's scary if you get him, but then the other cards maybe not so bad. I think because the mod set is named after him, it might be like the Spider-Man Amaria Hill mod set we saw teased in the Civil War article. So it'll be a bunch of cards like around supporting Taskmaster maybe. But he definitely looks scary at a glance there.
The other thing to note here is that he does not have victory, and so I don't know how that works in the scenario.
Oh, so
Really good details.
Yeah, so he would just kind of like have a chance to come back around.
But like in the Citizen V scenario, they're always in play, then they're defeated. Does he go to the discard pile? Like I don't know how that works.
Yeah, no, they have other Thunderbolts. There's a Thunderbolt minion in the
That's
I
right.
forgot the name of it in the Thunderbolt deck. So it would just presumably work like that, but it would start in play like one of the normal big Thunderbolts, but I think afterwards it would just go to the discard pile like a minion, regular non-elite minion Thunderbolt.
And then if he comes back out, does he start healing again and he like gets back into the rotation?
I think so.
That's kind of fun.
I think so.
I like that. Huh. I hate the fact that he has Retaliate 1 and Toughness. That's just mean. She-Hulk is over here pinging so much damage. Just poke. Oh, okay.
Honestly.
Interesting. Okay, so that's Taskmaster. And I'm wondering if we're going to see cards in this kit like we saw in the other Elite Thunderbolt mod sets where they like pull him out more frequently, and then those get worse because like if you've taken out Atlas from the Growing Strong, when you draw the card that pulls him back out, it's just a surge, whereas here it would pull Taskmaster right back out. So I could see like there being some like non-apparent balance that could just push it into like more on par with the level of the Thunderbolts.
I'm not. I'm a little skeptical. I don't know, but the 6 HP. But it's this. We got some other stuff around it that makes it really interesting. So, yeah.
Yeah. Do you guys know if those Thunderbolt module sets? Is it 6 cards normally for them, or is it 5 as well?
It's normally 6.
I think it varies. I thought some were 5 and some were 6.
Oh, really?
If I'm remembering correctly. I'll look it up quickly while we continue.
Nice. And while you're looking that up, I'm going to read Taskmaster's Academy, which is a side scheme. It's a hinder 1. It starts out with 3. And it has an amplify icon. When defeated, give the enemy leader a tough status card and a face down boost card. Enemy leader. So if you're playing in true solo, you're not playing the PvP. This is just give the villain a. I don't like that. I'm not a fan of this, especially with how many boost effects we have seen in these coming out. So not only like you can't leave it around because it's an amplify, and that's going to be bad, especially in like those higher player counts. So when you take it out, they're getting a tough status card and a face down boost card. Ugh.
I think the one sets to 6 just as to go back to the Thunderbolts.
Nice. Yeah, Taskmaster's Academy seems not fun to deal with.
Yeah.
It doesn't scale up too much per player kind of thing, but I'm trying to think. Taskmaster himself in his scenario, doesn't he have like an academy card that's
He
a
has a
side scheme?
training
Is it? I
camp,
wonder.
I think.
Yeah, I was just wondering if the effect was similar. I kind of feel like in my head that might have a boost icon, amplify icon.
And I want to say that whenever when a minion comes out, they get a tough or something like that. I don't know. I don't quite remember, but yeah, this could be mean. I typically think amplify is worse with the more players you have, just like because now it's +4 to the entire like villain turn versus +1, and so it makes a lot of sense that hinder number is a little bit low. But that's all we got from Taskmaster. Which one are you all more excited for, the Thunderbolt or Taskmaster set out of these two?
Probably for me, Taskmaster. I'm hoping that, like what Nelson was saying, I hope that he gets like 2 of those activation cards that like tutor him and he activates, because I think that's the only way to like keep him on par with the other Elite Thunderbolts. And he is an Elite Thunderbolt, so it's interesting that they have that with only 5 cards in the mod set. So yeah, hopefully he has that thing.
I'm also going to say Taskmaster because I think he looks more unique. Whereas I look at Penance, Songbird, and Atlas. I think we've seen minions with a similar effect in the Civil War box. That's come in and stun, come in and confuse, that kind of thing. So we don't think we've seen any that come in with like 3 keywords and activate. So like it's just naturally like more interesting to me.
Yeah. And it'll be interesting to see if they try and balance Taskmaster around the Elite Thunderbolts, or if they try and balance them with the other resistance options to put into and construct that deck. Because I think if he is balanced around Elite Thunderbolts, you never don't choose Taskmaster for your opponent to face off against.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he's gonna be super rough.
Yeah. Living for games. There's a card in one of the Civil War mods that activates all the boosts of minions in play. That would be brutal with the Thunderbolt. That will be brutal with the Thunderbolt. That's kind of fun. Oh, that's nice. That's fun. So speaking of the resistance, was I saying registration? I think I've been calling all of these resistance before. All those were registration. So now we're going to fight the system, Rage Against the Machine, with Vision. So I skipped over you, Villain, because you were looking up some stuff for us. We don't have a clickable Vision card. Like there's not a hyperlink. It's fine. He's right here. He's right here. What is oh no, it's right there. It was hiding in the first line. Villain, what does Vision do?
Well, firstly, I want to point out it's really funny that you said it's we're ready to rage against the machine, but isn't Vision raging against the machine? So it's like machine versus machine. I don't know. Anyway, Vision is a leader. He's got 1 scheme, 1 attack. Seems fine to me. Aerial and Avenger setup. The enemy team finds Vision's mass form attachment and attaches it to Vision, dense side up. So it sounds like he's going to have kind of like a form, kind of like the normal Vision, and he's got a force response. After resolving step 1 of the villain phase, which is adding a threat to the main scheme, flip Vision's mass form attachment. So he's going to swap between 2 modes, which I'm guessing are going to affect his teeny tiny 1 scheme, 1 attack stats here.
I feel like that's a pretty solid prediction. So dense form is a +1 attack. It's permanent. It's a mass form, and then is intangible. It's +1 scheme and force interrupt. When Vision would take any amount of damage, reduce that amount by 1. Okay.
One of those seems worse than the other.
Yeah, right. Have either of you played Slay the Spire, like the video game?
We were playing it here. Technically, my partner, she was playing it like a day or so ago.
Nice. There's a enemy in Slay the Spire that like every other turn you can only deal 1 damage to it per attack, And that's kind of what this feels like because he's flipping this every single turn. So it feels like every other turn is when you want to swing big and kind of push damage. And then maybe on that off turn is when you're managing threats or trying to build out a board state or something. Bang Guy. I love that. Bang Guy is going to love this. Boom Guy. But I like Bang Guy now. Yeah, Boom Guy is gonna. I expect a Vision v Vision fight on the Winning Hand podcast channel. That would be fun.
I mean, the downside of this, if your favorite character is made into an enemy heroes can fight, hundreds, if not thousands of people are going to be fighting and taking down your favorite character. So there's a downside.
True. That's so true. This to me seems way easier than She-Hulk.
Unless like his other cards like make up for it. Like the start here just seems way easier. It's so much more passive. I was just thinking I do like that the force interrupt. Like he is when he goes intangible, going to be harder to hit. Like Spider-Man was swinging web kick. I know Webroy probably a fan of that. It's only going to lose 1 damage, but somebody like Quicksilver wants to keep readying up and they keep getting their attack reduced is going to be unfortunate. And I just realized I don't think I took it in before. It reduces damage, any amount of damage he takes, even if it comes from a source that isn't an attack, it's still going to be reduced.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's a nice touch. Yeah, I agree that the intangible side like seems interesting, but the dense like looks so boring. Like there's nothing there. It's just +1 attack. I wonder. Yeah.
There's flavor text.
Yeah, that's very long flavor text.
I am predicting that we're going to see treacheries and or side schemes or stuff that deal with what form he is in. And that may be where like kind of the scariness of Vision comes out, because right now comparing the hero card, or I guess the leader cards side by side, it does not seem like it's on par. But they have a lot of levers to pull, so let's see what they do pull. This means you'll have to plan ahead for whatever form isn't active during the hero phase, which is made only more complicated with attachments like Solar Gem. Alrighty, Web Warrior, what does Solar Gem do for us?
It's an attachment with +1 scheme, and it's unique. Attached to Vision, Vision gains Stalwart, and hero response after you. Oh, I hate these. Hero response after you make a basic attack against Vision, spend a mental and physical resource to discard his card, and you flip his mass form attachment.
Interesting.
Oh, that's interesting. And then boosts to review the card. Yeah, this is. I mean, I don't know how bad Stalwart would be with Vision, but I hate those hero responses where you have to attack. Like a make a base attack activation and spend 2 resources. Oh man.
Yeah, they're not good for some heroes. Like if you're playing solo and your hero doesn't want a basic attack, it feels like such a waste. I think it's kind of interesting. The reveal from boost and attachment that gives him +1. It feels very much like Iron Man from the Civil War reveal. Kind of like his attachments. But just +1 scheme. I guess Stalwart could be a problem, but at least he's not hitting like She-Hulk. So pros and cons.
Yeah, it's like I don't really care to stun or confuse Vision because he's attacking me for 1 or 2, and it's like okay, which is another kind of interesting thing. You can time your hero, your identity flip based on like if he's going to be in dense form, flip down to alter ego, and he's only scheming for 1 versus 2, and then you can flip up and just like catch him on the off. Now this one can mess with that timing a little bit, but that also feels just something that's very like gameable.
Yeah.
I feel like if you're trying to do like a big push on Vision, like you can like use this to like have 2 turns where he's like taking more damage and like flip him the next turn on this, so he's like always just not reducing your damage.
Yeah, and that's yeah, what's up?
I was just thinking the way you said that. I wonder if some of the boost effects on his other cards will make him change form like mid attack.
Oh, that would be good.
So I'm kind of hoping to see that.
I'm here. Like, I'm looking at this, I'm like, maybe, do I leave Solar Gem out until he's an intangible, and when I need to make a big push, that's when I get rid of it. Like, it's not a bad, like, if I don't need to status him, I don't care if he has Stalwart. The +1 scheme is kind of annoying, but it's up to 2, potentially 3, which is manageable. So, like, I can almost use this as a, okay, let's go get him out of intangible form so that we can hit him really hard.
Yeah, I think it depends how you're attacking, etc. But makes sense to me.
Yeah, I think based on what Vinder was saying too, I'm gonna need him to be able to change forms more. Like we need to have that, or else he looks like pretty lackluster if he's not if he doesn't have any other ways to do that.
Yeah, hopefully his Vision's cape which he gains Retaliate 1 plus 1 attack, and then the same as the Solar Gem, where you flip Vision's mass form after you make a basic attack and spend a lightning and a mental to get rid of it, and on a boost you reveal it. Retaliate 1 I care about a little bit more, especially if he's reducing damage, because now that's annoying. So it's like, not only are you doing less, you're taking... He's like... It's like an energy barrier for Vision, right? Reduce the damage, deal the damage back.
Yeah, I think it's kind of interesting. I believe Vision's his hero cards, the cape will give you Retaliate or Stalwart depending on what form you're in. But they kind of put the Stalwart on the Solar Gem here, and kept the Retaliate on the cape, a very pointy cape, which doesn't ready the character like most of Caleb's capes. I think this is fine. I feel kind of similar to the Solar Gem.
Yeah. So that was the cape. Oh, okay. Most of his signature and counter set interacts with his mass form. There we go. That's the keyword. Oh. We got mass increase. So this is a superpower attachment. You attach it to Vision. When a character attacks Vision while the dense form attachment is in play, prevents all the damage from the attack and stun the attacking character. Then you discard this card. Okay, now that's worse.
Oh man.
That kind of reminds me of like from the Symbiotic Strength mod set, like the Webbed Up, but it's like a stun and then followed by another like attack prevented, something like that. Yeah, I mean, when a character attacks him while he's in, well, the dense attachment is in play, so you could just, an intangible attack him there and kind of ignore this. Like, you're losing 1 damage, but if you can wait, maybe it suddenly becomes more appealing to hit him there than like lose 2 whole attacks to mass increase.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like it's a little bit easy to like play around though, right? Like we just have an ally that's about to die to consequent damage, just attack him.
Yep.
And then like it will get stunned, but it gets knocked out, and then you block out like 1 damage from like the 1 attack.
Mm-hmm.
Does the ally need to survive for this to fall off?
I don't know.
No.
No? Okay.
No cost error. There's nothing about it. It just you follow the sentences sentence by sentence when the interrupt triggers, and it ends with a single sentence that says discard this.
Yeah. Yeah, so run allies. So you don't want to run allies against She-Hulk because of the overkill. You throw them in against Vision. Alrighty. While Vision while his phase disruption, Web Warrior, what is this doing for us? I've seen this art before.
It is a treachery, and the art's awesome. When reviewed, the enemy team exhausts an upgrade you control. Enemy team exhausts, so they can pick an upgrade that you control.
Huh.
In like solo play, is this you choose your own upgrade? The enemy team exhausts an upgrade you control. If the intangible attachment is in play, discard the upgrade instead. If the dense attachment is in play, flip that attachment. Okay. So this is like
going on.
Intangible, right?
Yeah, so if...
Sorry, I didn't quite catch that. Oh, sorry, go on.
Yeah, so I think if he's an intangible, when you pull this, you're very sad.
But the thing is, I would compare this to like She-Hulk's Gamma Slam, which you lose. I think you always lose like your most expensive ally or support, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then threats gets added, so this feels a lot easier.
It does.
Yeah.
Which he may have 2 of them. This is 13 out of 14. It does look like we have 1 more card, which could be that 14th card. And he only has 1 of these in his hero kit, so I could see this being a 1 of. But yeah, so far She-Hulk just seems way worse than Vision.
Yeah. I feel if I get this scenario, I'd be like, okay, you can play with Vision, and I'll play with She-Hulk.
Yep. And then
honestly, I want to look for like something to like throw that off, but I'm going back through the cards, and it seems like you're much more in control with like Vision. There's no like random overkill.
Mm-hmm.
The forms are gonna like keep changing, but you can play around them to like quite a big degree here. And yeah, this phase disruption is just easier Gamma Slam as far as I can see.
Yeah. Top all that off with density control. What is density control? And this is 9 out of 14, so he potentially could have 2 copies of that phase disruption. But Villain, what does density control do?
It surges, which is immediately scary.
Yeah.
So it's an attachment. You attach it to Vision. Forced interrupt. When he activates, if this activation is a scheme, you flip his mass form attachment. Instead attack. You also flip the. Sorry. you flip it to the one that's basically going to boost whatever he's doing. So if he's scheming, he'll go to his +1 scheme form side of the attachment, and if he's attacking, he goes to the +1 attack side of his dense/intangible form kind of attachment card. And if the card flipped, you discard this.
My brain is trying to catch up to what's happening.
So is mine here. There's a lot of text on this card. So you draw this as your encounter card. It attaches to the villain. Doesn't do anything immediately. Surges. Something else happens. When he next activates, if it's a scheme, you flip him his attachment, his form kind of attachment, to the one that boosts it. But if it's already in that form when he schemes, the attachment stays on. And if he was, let's say, in his attacky form and it flipped when he schemed to the schemy form, it gets discarded. So if it forces a change, it goes away. I had to really think about this. Chat, am I really? Did you guys have an easier time with this than me? I feel like this is something, if you float sentence by sentence when you play it, it's probably easier.
Yeah. Yeah, Matt in the chat is saying, "What is this, Arkham Horror?" Like, this is like a lot of text on a card. I don't think it changes really my perception of how challenging he's going to be. I mean, like, it is kind of interesting that, like, it's effectively a +1 to whatever the activation is, right?
Unless he's already in that form, in which case it doesn't do anything and it just sits there for next time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just
I
like
think the scariest.
Yeah, I feel like the only thing that could be bad about it is like maybe if you're like planning like what form to have him in, like this could kind of throw you off because it'll like keep you in the form that you don't want him to be in a little bit longer, I guess. But yeah, I mean the surge makes it like already like a good encounter card, like a strong one, I guess, because like it'll for sure be another encounter card. But yeah, it's unlike fanaticism, it feels like a fair surge on an attachment that doesn't do too much, I guess.
Yeah,
Wait,
I'd agree with
you
that.
don't like the worst encounter card surging into another one? That's not how you like to play the game.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna guess Vision has 2 of these. I mean, I guess it could surge into itself again because like Vision normally has 2 density controls, and then he gets +2 to whatever he does next.
Yeah.
But it feels pretty like fine. I do think this is like throwing off the plan a bit, like what Web Warrior said. But this is kind of what I was hoping for. It's like a boost effect. Instead, it's an attachment that would then trigger in the future, but kind of similar timing, like as he starts to activate, but before it goes through. So, what are you expecting to happen? I mean, you can see it in advance though, so it's more predictable. Vision just feels more predictable than She-Hulk, which maybe for like a rage kind of, well, she's not as ragey as Hulk, I guess, but as a super strength based character versus a machine based character, maybe that makes sense.
Yeah, Blazing Glory in the chat said that they didn't get a close look at She-Hulk because we didn't realize there was an article today. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Same. But She-Hulk seems very random, and I think that's a good word for it. She-Hulk seems significantly more random than Vision does. Vision seems very programmable. Hey. Sorry. But let's move on because I'm getting a peek of something that's very exciting down here at the bottom of the screen with that Moon Knight title. So I'm curious about what these Resistance, I'm calling them correctly this time, the Resistance mod sets are. Fully, it's scenario to be similarly disruptive with the protect secret identities. So this is another one of the main schemes. So same text as everything, but the forced response after resolving step 1 of the villain phase, each player discards the top 3 cards of their deck.
Oh,
Domino loves
Okay,
it.
that's. I mean, honestly, anyone with digging deep, I guess it feels like a bit like the Savage Land setup card, for the mod set that came with Dark Beast scenario. It's gonna like introduce some randomness, like that key upgrade goes away, but potentially it also gets you closer to like a really good like something else in your deck. So doesn't feel too scary to me. It's just kind of like not too disruptive, but it is disruptive.
And it like,
I like, yeah.
all right, accelerates you to that encounter card, which is like a problem after a while, but
it's not the worst though. If you would end the scenario before it goes around again, you probably would have got that encounter card like the same amount throughout the course of the game. You just got one slightly earlier, maybe. So it'd have to go around like a second time to make a huge impact. Is kind of how I feel about that. So not too bad. Each player is kind of interesting though.
Mm-hmm.
Then kind of in 4-player almost, it's kind of worse if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'm like super scared by this. This thing like looks so nasty to me because I feel like every single like turn, right? You gotta discard 3 cards. Like if I'm like, trying to dig for like Aunt May, I could potentially never get Aunt May playing
Mm-hmm.
Peter Parker Spider-Man if you're like really unlucky. I like hate this one a lot.
Yeah.
So in the sort of little sneaky thing me and WebWarrior might have been doing, before this article we realized was here, I think what we were learning is that one of us likes variants and one of us likes to adapt to unexpected things more than the other is what I kind of get, and I'm getting that here.
Nice. Yeah, it's interesting. It can be very bad. This is where the randomness comes in that She-Hulk introduces to Vision. It sounds like, right? Like if you discard friction resistance, now you're very sad, or if you discard 2 digging deeps and a white fox, you're very very happy.
Yeah. If my opponent's got Domino, I'm not picking this as the
Right.
scheme for them.
Right. I wonder if there are going to be sideboard rules for Marvel
Oh, yeah.
Champions.
Ooh.
Okay, so let the main scheme advance to expose overreach. So, villain, what does expose overreach do?
I just want to point out that Daredevil looks like he's having a really bad time in that art there. He's had it rough. So 9 threat per person, like all of the 2B side schemes, I think main schemes we've seen. Flavor text: if we expose Shield's secret prison to the world, they will lose public support. Allies enter play exhausted. That one's actually kind of nasty. So it's almost like I guess summoning sickness, I think is the phrase. So leadership in particular is going to have a bad time if this main scheme comes out.
I think also just from like a standpoint that I think a lot of these head-to-head games are going to be more of a race. This could really slow down some of those like rush decks that have, the Hulks and everyone in them, because you're stopping an entire turn. Like a pretty common rush deck is run Hulk with a lot of physicals and it's 5 damage a turn. Now you're setting them back a turn, allowing you as the opposing player to kind of gain some advantage. So I could see this one being a pretty decent one, especially if you're going up against a opposing team that's really trying to rush down that villain.
Yeah, I just had a quick thought. That also kind of punishes like recursion and swarm more than like one occasional ally, which I kind of like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is super rough. Yeah, I've like talked to people about like people have asked me how I think they can balance like allies because like, allies are so powerful, and I've often said like give them summon sickness. Like if it's just entry play exhaust all the time, allies are like way weaker, and like this is really nasty. Yeah, I'm not liking this resistance like these 2 main schemes. These are rough. I feel like.
Yeah.
This is why you got to fight for the resistance, not against them.
Yeah, there you go.
Couldn't choose.
Rage Against the Machine, Rise Against, all of the band names. This modular encounter set and his pre-constructed scenarios are also themed around disruption. The Young Avengers, that is the name of this mod set that Hawkeye is hanging out in, but that is what's her we'll talk about it when we get there. Young Avengers is a side scheme. First minion revealed each round gains surge. It comes in with 3 hinder 1 and an acceleration icon. That is bad enough that I'm getting rid of that acceleration icon ASAP. Ugh.
Yeah, Surge, scary.
I don't like Surge. Surge is not great.
Yeah,
Well, a lot of
there's
the minions. Sorry, you go on WebWire.
Oh no, I was gonna say yeah. There's a lot of minions, so like if they're all surging, that makes them like way worse. And on top of their 1 read effect, and like Taskmaster is like the worst one. But I guess Taskmaster is on the other side, right? So it should be
But
okay.
I was gonna say in a regular scenario, let's say I don't know, Ebony Moore, you could include both of those 2 together, is my understanding though. So it could end up affecting Taskmaster if you take it out of the Civil War stuff. But I'm just thinking, I glanced at one of the minions in this set because it was like on the screen as we scrolling down, and its when revealed effect isn't particularly nice. So you reveal it, get the when revealed effect, have a minion there, then you can potentially get another minion. So there's a potential surge train, even if it's not like super common. The surge. Oh, it's the first minion. Okay. Brain is catching up with new things. Okay, so that's a little bit better. I don't mind that as much, but obviously surge is still not a great thing to have on the board. So I fully agreed with you. Get rid of it.
Yeah, and the minion that you peeked at was that Hawkeye. You want to tell us what she does?
Yeah, she shoots arrows. She's one of the young Avengers.
There's that
But more
comic
than
book
that,
knowledge coming in.
oh, amazing! Yeah, I haven't read anything with her in yet, but I watched the Disney Plus show. So I'm pretty sure this is Kate Bishop. This is 2 scheme, 2 attack, 3 hit points. Super easy minion on that front, but her attacks gain piercing and ranged, so that's very thematic. And when revealed, you have to discard an upgrade you control, which makes me very sad.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's nasty.
mean. Now, skilled
Mhm. And
investigator is fine, right? Like,
Yes, true. But
But-
if it's Angel's wings, I knew there's a reason I brought those up earlier. If
There you
Angel's got
go.
his wings out, he's going to be really sad that she's like shot them off.
yep. And so this is like caught off guard minion form.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't have an upgrade out, which is low chance, but at least early on in the game, like say you play a support, play an ally, and play an attack, it could miss, which is at least a little bit more forgiving.
Mm-hmm. And I think it's the registration side that has the main scheme where you have to go find a minion. It's not this one, but I was like, if I am playing against that, I would go grab Hawkeye and just not play an upgrade. But yeah, that's interesting. So that's Hawkeye as one of your upgrades, or Patriot. What does Patriot do, Web Warrior?
Ooh, Patriot is a minion with 2 scheme, 2 attack, 4 hit points, young Avenger with toughness, and when reviewed, give the enemy leader a tough status card. Okay, I feel like this is not that bad. It's not like imposing anything on you. It's just kind of defending and like making the leader or like the villain more tough, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna disagree slightly here. I mean, as I follow this, there's 2 toughs to deal with. So it's a 4 health minion with a tough, and now like the quote unquote villain, the leader, will have a tough. So I've got to get through 2 toughs, then I've got to get through 4 hit points, like to kind of clear what this is at least bringing onto the board. So I feel like this is quite a step up from Hawkeye. This kind of upgrade is so annoying though.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. These feel like I'm respecting these more than I'm respecting what was the other set we just looked at with the other guys on the other side with Atlas and that the
Yeah.
Thunderbolts. I'm respecting these guys more than the Thunderbolts right now.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. This feels like it's always bad, whereas Hawkeye could be very bad or not bad, right? So it's
Yeah.
kind of like a variance versus consistency thing. But Patriot seems annoying. Patriot, like, though, if you're towards the end of the game, is just ignore them. I mean, like, you do have to deal with the tough that's on the leader, which is annoying. But
Do you guys remember that ally from Hulkling's production? Is this the same one, the getting toughs?
Yeah, it is the same one
Mm,
for sure.
that's fun.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah.
That's a cool callback. Okay. Puts a stopper on your damage output just when you're in the clear. Moon Knight, the fan favorite.
Oh,
Moon Knight here is a 2/5 minion with Retaliate 2 and Toughness. Oh, okay. This is a new mod set. So this is not part of the Young Avenger mod set. This is going to be kind of like that. Yeah, it's a elite minion, so it's probably going to be one that has just this minion and maybe some supporting cards. But Retaliate 2 and Toughness is not kind. When revealed, resolve the when revealed effect of the topmost treachery in the encounter discard pile.
that's pretty cool.
Yikes.
Yeah. The first thing I want to say is I really hope that this is foreshadowing to how we are going to see a playable Moon Knight hero activate. Are you going to be able to play like the top event of your discard pile or something? That would be sick.
Really cool.
That'd be incredibly cool. He doesn't work how I expected from Marvel Rivals. I thought that'd be really accurate to the card game. But honestly, I think this is really interesting. Toughness with Retaliate 2 is kind of scary. It's almost like 2 forced damage, That's another kind of instance where maybe I want that ally at 1 hit point and, sacrifice them against that tough or something, maybe. I wonder if this is scarier. I mean, it is scarier than Taskmaster again. I mean, imagine if that top treachery is under fire.
Oh yeah.
You're just
Or
doing
Shadow
a
of the
win
Past.
revealed, right? Like you're just doing a win revealed, so you're not resolving the surge on it. But like a
Okay,
Shadow
okay.
of the Past would be horrible, an advance would be horrible, right? If you advance,
Okay, yeah.
or
I
if
was
you
I was like expecting the worst, but at least it's still really scary though
it's
and
so
random.
yeah. I want to like have the like relief and like, oh, I missed the advance, like we missed it. It's awesome. It's gone. Reveal Moon Knight. It's like, dang it, no. get it as the boost card. Like, oh no. Interesting. Yeah, this is not great. I'm assuming that we're gonna have some pretty nasty treacheries in his kit as well that he can kind of play with.
Oh, yeah. I wonder if they might have an effect, like if this is resolved from the discard pile, do something extra maybe.
Ooh.
And a quick shout out, he's got the defender trait, and I think we've got like a defender mod set that was hard to say in the Civil War box, so maybe he kind of fits some of those.
I want defenders in this game as playable heroes. I want them so much.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So swoops in and forces you to repeat the topmost treachery in the discard pile, which could be one of Vision's treacheries or his own potent Fist of Web Warrior. What does this card do? I don't even know how to pronounce it.
The treachery, when reviewed, exhaust your identity and do 2 damage to it. And the boost is exhaust your identity. That's nasty.
That boost is annoying.
I don't like
the whole
it.
thing is annoying.
I don't mind exhaust my identity too much. Like it's almost like a minion's come out with 2 damage quick strike, and then I basic attack to defeat it or something. Like I don't think it's the end of the world. For some characters, it's worse than others, obviously, that really rely on exhausting. The boost effect doing it though is really irritating.
Yeah.
Or doing just at least the exhaust part. That always annoys me. It's like, oh, I use my tough cut, I use my ally, I use something. Oh, I'm exhausted anyway. I wish I exhausted to defend. That always gets me.
Yeah.
Interesting. And 2 unpreventable damage is also not the greatest.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Oh, yeah. If you're playing Deadpool and you're in your alter ego,
Yeah. Yeah.
you just die.
Yeah.
Oh.
Rip.
So that is the fist. You'll need quick thinking and even quicker ability to adapt if you want any hope of taking out Vision and his fellow members of the Resistance. Of the 2 of these, which ones are you more interested in? The flood of allies, the Young Avengers, or what the elite minion, the Moon Knight?
Ooh, this one's harder. I think Moon Knight though, because his when revealed effect is really interesting.
Yeah.
And I feel like Fist of Khonshu. What I'm thinking about, as soon as Web Warrior you mentioned Deadpool, I know people have like theorized that Deadpool's going to be really good in the PvP mode, just like annihilate somebody. But this mod set, especially because Moon Knight might be able to fish out some kind of damage or when revealed effect from the discard pod as well. Maybe this is like a soft counter to Deadpool or something like that, which is kind of a fun possibility, maybe.
Yeah, for sure. I also think that, I mean, I agree with Villain Theory. I think Moon Knight, that mod set looks really cool. And I mean, it's Moon Knight Flare, so you have to pick this one.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm on Team Moon Knight as well. I think this will be a fun one to throw into any of them, or any of these scenarios, but also just more. The ones with the weaker minions seem a little bit less like aggressive than the elite minions. So maybe that's I don't know if that's a true solo, because I don't know, but I think I'm more scared of Moon Knight, which makes me want to play him more.
Yeah, I mean, I would say I do not think that, unless you're like in a particular situation where you're 1 or 2 health, I do not think Fist of Khonshu is as bad as like the Hawkeye minion or Patriot coming out. So I'm kind of going with the philosophy that the big named elite from the set is worse than the average encounter card. Then the other ones maybe slightly easier. But without seeing the other ones, it's hard to it's hard to judge something seeing 2 out of 5 things.
Very true. Very true. So as we mentioned earlier, this expansion also comes with 2 copies of the standard PvP encounter set, which allows you to try out the game's new competitive mode. We give an overview of that in the other announcement article. Each leader has 4 of these reward cards. So we saw some of the reward cards for the other leaders, but it sounds like we are getting a couple more here in this for She-Hulk and Vision. So the first, we're going to get to see 4 of them. Sweet. So She-Hulk Smash, say that. Yeah, okay. So She-Hulk Smash in the Synthezoid Smackdown scenario pack does, it's just a lot of S's. As an action, your She-Hulk leader attacks the enemy leader. If you spent a physical resource to pay for this event, stun the enemy leader. Interesting. I feel like there were some like really good ones in the Civil War article, right?
I feel like in the Civil War article there was like huge variants. Some looked like incredibly good, and some were like, I'm just trying to process this one. I fell behind. I was distracted by all the shiny cards we had above it.
Yeah,
She-Hulk leader attacking the enemy leader seems potentially quite good because you could wait for her to have that +2
that's
and
true.
then like really like take like snipe the other one when the things are boosted.
Yeah. Can you chump block for attacks from leader to leader attacks? Like, can I throw an ally
I
in front of that?
I don't think that's been revealed yet, or if it has,
Okay.
I don't know.
I was like, because then if she has a superhuman strength, this feels really good because it gets overkill still, and you can take out that, or it's gonna go to a identity at that point, which would be kind of brutal. So that's She-Hulk smash. What is legal counsel? Hey, legal counsel. Villain theory. What is legal counsel doing?
Ooh, it is a resource card. It is a hero response, so it's also double wild, I should say. Very important detail. Double
Yeah.
wild is very nice. Um, so hero response. After you spend this resource, move one threat from the main scheme to your leader's main scheme. Okay, I mean the effect of moving one threat from yours to the others, it's kind of minor. It feels like, but the two wilds is very good to have.
It can be very minor, but you can wait until you're ready to like get them to about to pop that main scheme. And like just it's like almost like a storm thing because you're not only clearing yours. I think your leader is the one that the opposing team is facing off against, and so you're moving it to the opposing team's main scheme, which could be really bad.
If it works, because I remember when we did the Civil War reaction, you talked about the Storm ally moving threat like to the enemy players potentially like main scheme. I feel like you could kind of combo it and something they've got a lot more threat to deal with.
Yep, use this to pay for Storm, who costs 4 or 5 depending on what trait you have, and then have her thwart, and then move 3. So like you could have like a really like potentially high burst of moving threat from your scheme to the enemies and making it pop and going into one of those worst second stage schemes.
Do you guys want to hear a crazy like idea?
I do.
I grab legal counsel and I recut the beast ally, paying for him with this over and over again to keep moving threat.
Yeah.
So it works that way, right?
Yeah,
Yep. Yep. After you spend this yeah. Oh, that's sick.
that's really good.
Cool.
You
I know what I'm doing.
You and the Shibi in chat have like minds. That's what they suggested as
Oh?
well. Good call. Nice.
I didn't see that, but they probably said it first, so that's awesome. Awesome shout.
Yeah. That's cool. Okay, so I like legal
see.
counsel a lot. Double wild resources. I know like some of us who have played Trickster Takeover. Sorry, I had to.
Okay.
No, but there's one of the synergy environments that gives you a double wild resource whenever you spend a counter from that, and that is just so good, especially early in the game. Like it's so much tempo and it's just so easy, especially to like, get rid of attachments and stuff.
Oh yeah,
I love it.
Yeah.
We got calculated risk. What does calculated risk do, Web Warrior?
it's a 2-cost event for vision, and as action, search the top 5 cards of your leader's encounter deck for an encounter card and deal it to the first player on the enemy team as a face encounter card. Okay. Yeah, that's very cool. I always like whenever we can look and then give like what we want the other person to deal with.
That is cool. I love the art on this. I think the art is amazing.
Very cool. I'm wondering with this effect here. Search the top 5 cards of your leader's encounter deck.
Mm-hmm.
The enemy player doesn't see it, right? Like it's a surprise. So I search the top 5, but it doesn't say at any point I have to show them.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
So can I like sneak it down and be like, enjoy that? And I can kind of like the PvP almost like takes into almost like a poker kind of like bluffing or like trying to give away. I could try and really intimidate them, but maybe I didn't find anything good, and they're like really preparing, and they didn't need to hold back or something like that.
Yep. Yep. We're adding bluffing into Marvel Champions.
It's a card game.
There you go. I like it. I think we had a similar one in the Civil War announcement article that was somewhat along the lines of like dealing out encounter cards. And if you can hit the right ones, it can be brutal, especially if you can hit like a Moon Knight or something along those lines. You are dealing it to the first player. So if you draw a no, you wouldn't be able to draw a Moon Knight. I'm getting confused as to what cards are in what decks at this point. But like if you see what the top card of the encounter deck is, you can draw a Moon Knight knowing that this is going to be the first card that they reveal. And if it's a treachery, if it's like in a Shadow of the Past, you can trigger the top card of that as well. But I think it's opposite. No, it would be the same. Yeah, you could do that. That'd be kind of fun.
There's a lot of, stuff here.
Doesn't it say shuffle? I think yes, you would shuffle the encounter, but Moon Knight you activate the win revealed on the top card of the discard pile, so you're not shuffling the discard pile. And then phased out, which is the last one that we got here for Vision. Phased out is a 0-cost event. Okay, choose an attachment on an enemy leader with the hero response or hero interrupt and discard it. Very situationally good, I think.
It does feel like a lot of these villains do have attachments, though, because we've seen it on She-Hulk, we've seen it on Vision, we've seen it on Iron Man. I'm trying to think what's the text on Captain America's shield, but he's got the super soldier serum as well, maybe. I don't know if that has that action on it, though, but potentially I can see this. Wait, we're using this on the resistance side, so it's only mostly relevant for, I guess She-Hulk and Iron Man.
Yeah. It's also like, if I
Captain
remember
Marvel
correctly,
has.
you get these at a specific point, and so like you can make a decision on which one you're grabbing based on the current game state. So it's like, okay, I need to get rid of X, Y, or Z attachment. You can toss it there.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I'm kind of liking what She-Hulk offers. I like being able to like smack the enemy leader, and I like getting a double wild resource.
Yeah. Yeah, I like the double wild resource a lot. Legal counsel feels really good. The bottom text here says that we are going to be getting this in November, and so we're getting Civil War next month, and we'll get this as the follow up. So 9, 10. So we're back to the every other month release. But what are your overall thoughts on Synthezoid Smackdown? Is it something that you'll be picking up?
I mean, I have to pick it
Yeah,
up.
right.
I arguably don't have to pick it up, but I am intrigued. I'm gonna be the bad guy. I don't know if these excited me as much as the Civil War villains. Like Captain America get his shield. Thought that was really cool. I thought Captain Marvel was really cool. I don't think these two rank above them in terms of my excitement so far, but obviously I haven't played them yet. Some of the mod sets seem a little bit similar to the ones in Civil War.
Mhm.
At least the Thunderbolts one. Thematically, I like that we got those as Thunderbolts. So that's kind of fun.
Yeah.
And they kind of work on a heroic thing, working with the heroes, but also in the villains as well, because they're like largely villains turned heroes in there. So that's just kind of fun thematically. But I don't know. I do like the Taskmaster mod set we've seen so far. I do like the Moon Knight one. I'm kind of liking the Young Avengers one. I don't know. I've got to see more stuff, but right now I'm definitely picking it up because 2 new villains. I really like that.
Yep.
But I want to see more.
What do you think, Web Warrior?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I would just pick this up, and then like I feel like if you are wanting to play PvP and you're like, okay, like I want to make sure I win, like you just pick this up and then pick She-Hulk,
Yeah.
and then you have like your opponent like be someone else, and because I feel like her cards, like not just like her cards are good and like she's like tanky, but she has the She-Hulk Smash and the not Calculatorist, the Legal Counsel as well, which like you guys are saying like with Storm and stuff. I feel like being able to put one threat, like your opponent thinks like they're safe with like one threat threshold like from advance or something, and you can just like spend that resource, and it's a double.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like she looks pretty powerful.
Yeah.
I'm still thinking about that Gamma Slam card she has as well.
Oh, the Gamma Slam is going to be brutal. Oh. Oof. Yeah, I think I'm in line with villain. I think the villains from the Civil War box a little bit more than the 2 of these, but these also look pretty interesting. Also 8 mod sets, like we saw 4 of the 8, we saw half of them, and we saw half of what is in those, and so there's a lot of cards still to come. They said it was a 90 card expansion, so that's pretty significant as well. I'm excited for it. I think this is going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have what did we say, 24 new mod sets, which is probably the thing that I'm most excited about between these 2 products, is just having that many more mod sets to just mess with old scenarios. I'm pumped for that.
Yeah, I do quickly want to point out on the bigger size of the scenario pack, as I understand it, it says somewhere in here that it's this scenario pack is coming with 2 copies of the standard PvP set, so you don't need the expansion to do the PvP. So I think that might be almost like the extra 12 cards kind of accounted for there, if that makes sense. So if you've already got Civil War, I don't know if that's going to give you 12 extra cards. I kind of felt that might be redundant. But if you don't have it, this is kind of a way to experience it.
Yeah. Blazing reveal of Hercules or Wonder Woman next week. Yeah, it's at this rate, we'll see you all next week, I guess, right? But
Let me rest.
Yeah, I'm tired of this, Grandpa. No, I'm actually not. I am really happy with all of the articles that we've been getting. It's been a really fun couple of weeks to kind of see what's upcoming in the Civil War wave. I think it's going to be a really fun one. Hulkling and Tigra also just look amazing. So I'm pumped for the new stuff coming out. But yeah, thank you all so very much for joining and talking about the two new hero leader villains. I don't even know what to call them at this point. In this article, anything y'all want to shout out or promote before we log off?
I want to promote. We call them frenemies. If we're not sure if they're
Frenemies.
villains or yeah. I don't know if I've got anything to promote. Check out my YouTube channel if you want. Just put out a big mod set kind of oriented video. Check out Web Warrior's channel for a cool video coming up very soon. I should probably let him promote that.
Yeah, I don't know how to promote it, but yeah, we'll have a new video coming out soon. Yeah.
Nice. And yeah, so thanks all. Go make sure that you check out Villain Theory and Web Warrior Fanatics channel. I set up the stream before I knew that y'all were going to be on it. So unfortunately, I don't have your links in here quite yet. I will go back right after we hit end and add them, as well as add them in the VOD. So make sure that you're going and following their channels. Thanks everyone for hanging out and taking a look at the new article. And if the pattern continues, we'll see you next week, same time, same place. Alrighty, my friends. See you around. Peace.